How's it going, everybody? My name is Melanin Rebirth, and in this video we're going to be talking about life path number 1, the purpose, the lessons, some of the pros, cons, as well as the ultimate challenge for a life path number 1. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. Now, if I continuously look down to the floor, it is because I'm looking at my notes. I do not want to miss anything because life paths are it's like a lot to explain. Anyways, let's get into it. With the purpose of being a life path number 1, your purpose is that you must take your own path. You must not be afraid to be by yourself. You must take your own path, and you must be willing to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to fail. You are going to fail. But the most important part and the lesson that you have to learn is you got to get back up. Even when it gets tough, you have to get back up. You are the sign that goes through the most obstacles. You go through the most challenges. You go through the school of hard knocks. You are the initiator. You are the first. And that's what makes you the leader. That's what gives you that warrior-like spirit, which takes me to the pros. The pros of being a life path number 1 is you are a leader. You are the father. You are the masculine, the T. You have the ambition. You have the courage. You have the warrior-like spirit. You have the warrior-like capabilities. A lot of the times these people are very, how do I put it? Are very athletically built, very physical. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I'm going to say, if you are a female and you're a life path number 1, what you got to understand about spirituality is it doesn't have any limits. Spirituality, like for example, I'm a life path number 3, that's a masculine sign. However, I'm a female, but when it comes to spirituality, there is no such thing as, how do I put it? You limit yourself because you are a female and you have masculine energy. It's energy. It's energy that you have to learn how to work with. So, anyways, we just use masculine and feminine to help give you an idea of what that energy is like, if that makes sense. Anyways, so, like I said, the pros: leader, ambitious, courageous, you got all of that. You're just a leader. Some of the cons is you tend to be alone a lot. And I know this is not a bad thing. However, you have many of life path number 1s that feel as though they do not like to be alone. But something you must realize as being a leader and being a life path number 1, one of your greatest strengths is standing by yourself and realizing that you are not a follower. Yes, you want people to follow you. However, you are not a follower, and you cannot be a follower. You know what I'm saying? So some of the lessons, like I said, you must learn how to fail and also value and embrace failure. Do not forget that all the successful people out there, all your favorite entertainers, entrepreneurs, sports, all those people have to learn how to fail, but also embrace their fails. And I bet you if you ask them, they failed more times than they succeeded. But you got to get out there and you got to be willing to be uncomfortable. Now, one of the celebrities that I will talk about is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is a life path number 1. Now, when you think of Steve Jobs, think about his products that he made, but also his innovative approach and how he switched the game up for technology. He changed the whole entire cell phone and computer and Pixar. He changed up the game a lot, and he had to go through so many so many struggles, from having dyslexia to I believe he was adopted, to getting fired, to um, going through all these different things. But one thing that a life path number one must realize is they have to learn how to communicate effectively with others. Now, if you watch my video that I made about, the simple rundowns of the different life paths, I mentioned that, but I want to go more into depth about that. When you are a life path number one, yes, you have a strong leadership nature to you. However, you must realize that people have to be willing to follow you. You are nothing without followers. Leaders need followers. And if you do not know how to communicate and have a interpersonal emotion or connection with that person, then that relationship is not going to last for a long time. And that's another lesson that a life path number one must realize. They must realize you have to communicate and get emotionally. I'm not saying you got to be like, oh my God, in love with people that you're friends with. No, what I am saying is you need to have some kind of empathy and some kind of emotion, like love for people that you lead. You know what I'm saying? Of course, being a number one is all about protecting, but so is number two, which that's another video. But as far as being a life path number one, you must realize that your strength is when you build long-term followers. You know what I'm saying? You need to learn how to embrace failure. When you get knocked down, you got to get back up. You have to. You cannot stay down. You have to keep on going, because that's how you grow. The more you go, the more you grow. Take that for however way you want to look at it. Now, one thing that I just mentioned was about being alone. Of course, whenever you're a leader, you feel as though you need to be around people a lot, but you don't. Your real strength comes from you and working on yourself, and also learning how to master your own life. When you think about heaven is all about a state of mind, and it's about living in your higher self and also finding your heaven within yourself. Being a number one is a very masculine sign, and it's a very how do I put it, a very powerful sign. But a lot of the times when life path number one, if they are operating in their lower self, they do not like to be alone. A lot of the times they need to be around people, I guess leading them. But if they're operating in their lower self, then they could be leading them to nowhere and leading them to destruction. But I feel if you are life path number one, really focus on having compassion and love for people, and not just using your powers and your gifts for the wrong purpose. Another thing that I will say about number one is, how do I put it? You need to learn how to hone into that warrior-like spirit, but also be gentle. Like, be gentle. And that's something that number two teaches us. But find a balance, and it can be rather having a lot of feminine energy in your life, or also just, how do I put it, working with feminine energy a little more to kind of help balance your masculine sign. Like, I know, for example, going back to Steve Jobs, when he had came up with the Macintosh, many of people weren't ready for that. And he was, like I said, he was ahead of his time, but how he communicated with others was very rude, and that's part of the reason why he got fired. He was very aggressive. He hot-headed. It just got ugly. But I think one thing that he learned how to do was become better at being softer and having a softer approach and being patient with people and having, like I said, a gentle approach. But with that being said, that sums up the video. Life path number one, you gotta keep on fighting, keep pushing, keep giving it all you got. Learn that it's okay to be alone. Learn how to focus and hone in on your capabilities. Get into some sports. If you have ideas, you need to really get in there, dig deep, learn how to work with people, because ultimately people are going to help you learn how to lead, and you also have to learn how to communicate more effectively with people and really have a compassion towards people. And with that being said, I'll see you on this video. Guys, make sure to comment your experiences with life path number one. Are you a life path number one? Did this video resonate with you? Also, make sure to subscribe to this channel and check out my healing crystals. I sell healing crystals from rose quartz to aquamarine to amethyst to jade to jasper. I like crystals. To the eye of the tiger, crystals have power within themselves. I love them. With that being said, make sure to also check out the different things that I have down below, the different books that I read. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next video.